Okay. I huh? All right. So, how many lessons have we had? How many lessons have we had? How many times have we come here? So, 4 hours? How many times have we been in this room? How many times? Feels like a lot, right? How many? Twice? So today is lesson 3. After lesson 1, you all did the exercise 1.1 learning numbers, 1.2 learning strings, 1.3 learning variables. And you also did 2.1 after the second day, learning arrays, learning methods, and learning if then else, right? Thank you for putting in the time to do work. I recommend that you start early, so you can do it after class. You can do it the next day. Just do a little bit. Don't wait until the last day, because if you do that, you come to class, it will be very difficult to learn new things. Your brain will be very tired already. So it's very important to just do a little bit each day. I will review some of the assignment. Is more difficult or it's okay? Can you give me, everyone will raise your hand like this, okay? 1, 2, 3, everyone raise your hand, like last time, remember? But give me 5 if it's very hard. Give me 1 if it's very easy, okay? How difficult is this? 1, 2, 3. Please raise your hand with a number. Alright, 1, 2, 3. This is very hard and this is very easy. So you can say 3 if it's okay. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Cool. Now Lloyd will be like this. 0. Okay, great. So very quickly, let's review on array. I'll click on one of these homework. I will click on, and then I'll give some feedback, okay? I have Ellie's latest homework here. I know, right? I gave some feedback here, and I'm going to very quickly mark complete again. So the way the system works is that you can submit, it will show as a check. After I review it, I mark complete, then it's done. But sometimes if it's not good enough, I say send back. Right? But all the time, you guys are good, so I mark complete. But sometimes you want to do more, so you take it back and do it. So it shows, like this, and I have to review again, which is okay. So let's look at this. So initially, when Ellie first submitted, she did numbers equals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Can you all see this? Right? Ellie did this, and everyone did this perfect, okay? My recommendation is that in Ruby, try to make it looks good by, I can't write there, so I'll write here, okay? So for this line, when you write code, try to put a space after the number, okay? Just like in English. Always something, a character, space. It's easier to read, right? Put a space before the equal and after the equal. Okay? We all can agree on this? And when you comment out like this, put a space after the pound sign. Okay? It just, everyone does the same thing, it looks good. Now, I gave the feedback that one cleaner way of doing the same thing, you can write a range from 1 to 10, and then you convert it to an array. Do we all understand this? So it's nice, because now if I ask you to define a number from 1 to 100, you know how to do. Yeah? You don't type from 1 to 100, you do this. Isn't that nice? Okay, next, here after each exercise, try to make it clear. I have task 1, 2, 3, 4. So feel free to add some marker, like you can add, basically you can add like put task 1, right? And then you can even do this if you want to make it easy for you to see. Feel free to do something to make it very obvious. Feel free. I mean, it's up to you, but you see that if you do it this way, it's harder to know what you're doing.
It's easier for you guys too, right?
Yeah.
Creating your own code, right?
Right. Great. So this homework, because Ellie read my feedback, you can see that this code is perfect. Numbers.each. This is to print out all the numbers bigger than 5. Right? Numbers.each, and then if the number is bigger than 5, let's print it out. I suggest that there is a faster way. Maybe I did not suggest that. I don't know if I suggested it, but Ellie find a better way. There's a method select. And don't worry if you don't understand this, but this is similar to do end. So find the numbers in the array that's bigger than 5. If you don't understand this line, don't worry about it, okay? My homework, this is good enough. Alright, so very quickly, I think there's some other exercises, I don't see them. Did you lose the sort? I see the total, did I have a total number method or not? Okay, not in here, right? Learning array, so it's just this array. So they all look good, like this. So there's a sort function. Each of you learn how to do that. In this case, okay, again, this may look funny. If you don't understand, don't worry about it. There's another sort method for in array. There's a select method, which means you only select some numbers from the array, right? Only the number is bigger than 5. Here you can also say number A and number B, number X, number Y. It can be anything. There's a sort method. If you have an array 1, 3, 5, minus 1, minus 3, and you call sort, it will display everything from small to big, right? Because it will compare two elements, the smaller one will go first. You can use this method, x and y, and you say x compare with y. So less than, equal, greater than, and then you press enter, it's the same thing. But if you say, well, if you compare x and y, let's change y to the front and x to the back. Then what happens? Then 5 first, minus 3 last. Now this may be difficult to understand. There are two numbers and comparing, so don't worry about it. You don't have to know. You can do this. If you sort, if you have an array and then you want to change the order from the back to the front, what do? Reverse. It's the same, right? So we already learned array and string. This is string and you can reverse a string. Olay. Alright, so this homework is good. I'm just going to mark completed. Second, so this homework, right? 8 exercises, mainly with some numbers, array of numbers. Are we okay? Are we okay with the exercises? Any question about this homework? You can add 2 arrays together. When you add 2 arrays together, 1, 2, 3 plus 4, 5, 6, what do you get? If you put 3, 4, 5 plus 1, 2, 3, then what do you get? So it keeps the same order, right? So if you want this, but you want 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, then what do? You put this to an array, right? You say result, and then you say result dot sort. Yeah, you can even combine them like this if you are lazy. Okay. All right, if you are lazy, you can do sort outside. Just remember you have this parenthesis. They are called parenthesis grouping, right? So A and B together. Okay, so that's array. Next, let's look at another person. I will look at Hong's homework. This one, 5. Okay, so which is learning methods. So we know how to do def, right? So this is really cool. You can say def full name and you can return the result. Okay? So my comment for Hong is, if you have this method, you don't have to use puts in here. Okay? You don't have to use put here. If I take out the puts, I can say puts full name right? Is that okay? So this will be clearer because I can do this. I can say my full name is full name I Van Tran. Then I can print my full name if I want. So don't use put inside. So what happens if you use put inside? Then this line will return, it will finish, it will return nil. So after you say put hello, it will say nil. You see the green nil here? Nothing, right? So let's say if I have A is hello, okay, look, and I can say put A, yeah? If I say B is put hello, okay, you may see that this look funny. It's the same. I just make it look clearer, right? If I do this, what is B? Do you think? If A is hello here, A will be hello. Put hello will print out hello, but it will return. So you don't understand the word return yet? Don't worry. What happens now is it will print hello, right? But what is B? B is nil. Because put hello is nil. So I finished running it. So just remember, if you have puts, after puts you will see this nil. Okay? So this is a method. What is the name of the method? Full name. What do we want the method to return, to finish with?
Full name.
Full name. So I don't want puts here. Okay? So I would say suggestion, move for number 1. I suggest that you move, right, put outside the function, the method. Okay? So then you can use it with this line. It will work. Okay? In the program, we do not always want to put, right? Sometimes we just want to store in a variable, right? Sometimes we don't print to screen every time because it's a lot to see. Okay? So just remember, most of the time, if you have a method and you want to use the method, you want to use it and assign to another variable like this, do not use puts at the end of the function. Great. So this is good. Just one more thing. How can we improve this? If right now, if I do puts this, what happens? You will get this, right?
Yeah.
How can we make it better? Chị Hồng. So you do this, right?
After this, by in front of the name, then go one and jump.
Fun and fun. Oh, but what if this is what the user write?
The second and
You can do this.
yes.
This is good, right? But what if, sometimes people give you this? Because you may ask the user, what's your first name? What's your second name? What's your middle name? And what's your last name? Right? And then you will say, your full name is, and then you have to add the space for them. Right? What is another way to do it? Remember we learned the other day? We have Loi, Van, Tran. This is an array, you can use the method join. If you do join by itself, then it's the same as this. You join with empty, right? Empty. It's also empty. But you don't want this, you want to join with this. Yeah? But sometimes, maybe you want to create a username for that person. Can you create a username with a space in it, like create an email account? No, right? So you can do maybe join dot. Then you get loy.van.tran, let's say at gmail.com. Right? So this is nice, right? This is why the join method is useful. Okay, so in this one, you learn how to write a method. You can see this function right here. Okay? So don't use puts here, okay? And then you can, it will return an array and then you can do puts. Because Chị Hồng, you use puts here, when you put again, what will you print? This is nil. You're just printing nil, 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 right? So you will print basically, I'm not sure why here, 1, 2, 3, 4, but up here there will be some missing. You see this empty space? You print nil, that's why it's empty. Okay? And then you run this method and it will print this, right? Print this line inside the function and then it print nil again. That's why you see an empty space. This is called a new line, right? An empty line. And then you do 1, it will go there and puts. So you see 1 and then you see an empty space again. Okay? So good job. You do the task thing here. Make it very easy to see. So you see that you can write the total function, right? But it's so cool because now you can write something like this. Let's go and apply what we learned. Remember the total function? Who can help me write total? Numbers? How do you do it? Sum, 0, right? Numbers dot each do. Okay, this is number. And then what? Sum plus equal, or you can do sum equal, sum plus number. There's a short way, but plus equal, you don't worry about that. And I return sum. You see, I try to, what happens? Space, space, important. Space, space, easy to read, okay? Sometimes you want to declare some variables, you can add some space, right? So you can declare, something else like, I don't know, result, or there may be another variable. So variable equals to hello. So here, where you declare the variables, here's when you take action, and here you return the result. You can keep your code clean.
Right
Oh.
now, right now, styling is important because these functions are very short. If your code is like 100 lines long, it's very important.
Yeah. So you see, let's test this, right? What is the type of numbers? Can I say total 1?
No.
No, right? Because it will complain, hey, I cannot do each on 1. So what do? I can say total of this one. What is it? Because it's an empty array. And then if I have a 1 number, I do that. So what's the total of 1? How do you find the total of 1, 2, 3? What is the result? 6. What is the total of 10,000 and minus 10,000 here?
0.
Right? Now, what is the total between 1 and 10? Are you going to type this? Okay, no. So what is the better way? 1, 10. Would it work? It works, but don't worry about it because a range can do each. But you want to say, let's convert this into A. But this may be really difficult, right? So you can say numbers, maybe 1 to 10. Okay? And then you say 1 to 10, convert to an array. And then you say 1 to 10. This is easier to read, right? So what about 1 to 100? Then you can say 1 to 100. You can say the same thing. And total 1 to 100. Who knows the result? 1 plus 2 plus 3. So that's cool. Now we need computer because it's hard to do it ourselves. It will be 50, 50. 5,000. 1 to 100. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 100. Yeah? Now if I do this, if I do 100 plus 99 plus 98 plus, right, 1. This is the same, right? Okay, so what if I plus these two things together? Alright, so you get down here, you get up down here. You get 101, 101, 101, right? How many 101? 100 of them, right? So this will be 101 multiply how many? 100. 100 numbers. Yeah? So this is 10100. But this is A. This is also A, right? So A equals divided by 2, which is 5050. So that's why, but that is how we learn by doing math by hand. This is how you do math by computer. And then of course if you run the code now, it will crash because this is not code, so you can write this. Feel free to write code, write your own English in this comment thing, right? So with that, now we know it's easy. We can say total, there's a bug. If I want total from 1 to 1,000, 1 to 1,000, even 10,000 to A, and then it can still calculate, right? This is the green color. What's the green color? The green color is the last value. So it returns the value. If I want to print, I say puts, okay? And I run it. You see the white color because I'm printing. And then the green color is nil because the last line I did is so who I want to print, I put puts because I may do something else here, right? I may say, puts hello, right? If I don't do puts up here, I will lose and I will never know what the total is. So that's why I do puts. Okay? Puts is the white text. Put mean printing to screen. Green, you see the arrow here, means the return value of the last line. Only the last line. Something you remember. Remember if you chat with someone, you will always see the last message, right? You want to write back the chat message. Okay? So, one more thing. Do you know that in Ruby, sometimes you see people don't write puts hello like this? It's more typing. So, a lot of times you just do put, it reads like English, right? So, you can do the same thing up here if you like. Right? It's the same thing. Of course, but the problem is when you write this, then it becomes really difficult to read. Put space, total space, this one. And then I ask you, what is total? And you tell me, total is a string. No, right? It's a method. But if you write like this, it's bad. Right? And it doesn't understand. So, I don't know if it understands or not. Let's see. It understands. But it's bad. No? You see this 0? It's hard for human to understand. So when you do puts, please put this in. Okay? Don't do this. It will work, but do not do this. Then it will also look funny. Yeah? You can do it once outside, but do this. Okay? Now when you do this, it also understands, right? But then it looks, well, I don't know. Do you think it looks good? Maybe it's still good. One argument, one method. Right? But again, you cannot do this. Okay? Don't do that. It looks very, very confusing. So most of the time, just use parentheses. Are we feeling good about the parentheses? Okay. You see, sometimes here the parenthesis is important. Can you remove this parenthesis? No, because it's saying, yeah, it's saying I go from 1 to 10.2a. What is that? Right? It doesn't understand, so you have to group them. This makes sense, right? Okay, great. So one more thing down here. So I think that assignment is done. I marked complete somewhere. Just mark this as complete. Let me load and check the last assignment. After this class, you will receive some more. It didn't mark complete. And then, so for the last exercise, who volunteered? Okay, so I'll take Ellie because, all right, home here, right? So go home and you should try to remove puts in your def, right? Blocks, okay? So I call these blocks, but don't worry, this is a block, okay? Def, so remove it out because you have puts outside and do it here, put say hi. Can you do that? Okay, so it's complete. And then let's look at the final exercise. Wow, this is cool. So I suggest that there is one way to do if, else, then, but it's faster. If you don't understand this, don't worry. How do we write bigger? It's easy, right? How do we write that? bigger thing. So let me write a new REPL. How do I do a new REPL? Here. Alright. So that's bigger. Let's say number 1, A and B. Okay? How do you return the bigger number? So if I want bigger of 10 and 100, you want to display, I do this, it's a comment, so it will be okay. I want it to display 100, right? Right now, if I say display 100, this will be good. But then I test again, maybe between 1 and 1,000, right? And this will be wrong. How do I fix it? Remember the last number? If I put 1,000 here, what happened? It will run 100 and then it forgets, and then it will see 1,000 and it remembers because it's the last line. So it's the same as saying this return, okay? So last line. So you see 1,000, 1,000. So I want my code to be smarter than this. I can just say bigger can always return A, right? I can say bigger always return B, right? Bigger, but now I want it to be smarter. If A is greater than B, then return A, else return B. What about equal? What about equal? When it's equal, it also happened here, right? And it will also work, right? So you can have greater equal here, then the equal happened here, and it still work. Equal doesn't matter. You can do it anywhere. So that is one way to do it. A shorter way is if A greater than B, question mark, return A. If not, return B. Okay, it's just fun to know. Don't worry about that for now, okay? Yeah? So for example, are you okay? Right? You say health. And then you can say health equal okay. Then you say that's great. If not, oh no, right? And then you can say, are you okay? You can use the question mark in the method, right? You can use space or you can just do that. And then you can say get chomp. Okay? So, this AB thing is not there. Okay, let's run it. So over here I type okay. That's great. I run one more time. I type no. Oh no. So you learn a little faster way to do it, but don't worry. Right? This is for, you will see it again. Okay? But this is important. Health okay is in one thing. It's the same here. The parenthesis, you don't need it. The computer understands. But if you want to make it clear for you, you want to do this, okay? Yeah? And then here. Okay? Is it good? Alright, so you can even do more things in here. So that's what we learned today. And, oh my god, right? That's a health is okay, and maybe, temperature. Let's say my temperature is less than 40 degrees. Then I'm okay. So you can pass in here my temperature. Right? So, are you okay? So now we cannot ask that. Are you okay? Maybe we can ask twice. Temperature, we just pass in the temperature here, 32. You want to try? So, if I am doing okay, I say okay, that's great. But if my temperature is 42, Even if I say okay, it will still say oh no. Because there is something here. Wow, this is complicated. Let's learn this. Can we learn this? Alright, we learned that there is this A equal B. So 1 equal 1 is oh, let's remove this are you okay thing, right? Let's do it again. Oh my, Ruby doesn't like it when I stop it. Now let's learn this thing. We call it logical, right? Oops, operators. Okay. So 1 is 1. What do you think? True. You see true here? Great. Let's comment these things out. All right. So what about 1 equal 1? That makes no sense, no? You cannot do this equal to a number. Okay? What happens there? It will say you cannot do this equal, right? Unexpected. So cannot. So 2 equal. So 1 equals 2. You cannot do 1 equal 2, right? Only A equals 2. But then this will, give A the value of 2. Okay, let's say 1 equals 2. What happens? False. Okay? What about true equals true? True. What about true equals 1? It's not the same, right? Are they the same? No. So only 1 is the same as 1. Okay. So with that, let's compare 1 equals 1. True or false? Thì không? 1 equals 1. So is number 1 the same as the string 1? Sorry, this is it's the same as this, but it's easier to understand. Is the string 1 equals to the number 1? Phương? Just say yes or no, doesn't matter. It's okay to be wrong. It's all true or false, okay? This is true or false. So you can try it here. 1 equal 1. What happens? It will be true or false? Yeah. It's only true or false. You cannot say nothing. True or false? Good. Phương? True or false? False. Okay, good. Lee? True? What do you think? False. Lloyd, what do you think?
False.
False. Oh no! So only this is true, huh? Right? 1 is 1. True? What about 1? Do you remember this? 2 integer? It will become this. So what if I do 1 is this? Eh? True or false?
True.
It's like this, right? This run and finish, right? So it's true or false, Phương? Remember what 1 to I is? True or false? Now, chị Hồng? True. You learn more if you say wrong, but you're right this time. Okay, 1, 2s. What is that? String. So 1, 2s compare with 1. True or false? Good. And then compare with string 1. True or false? Okay. So this is fun, right? Let's do it together here. Write true or false here next to each other. Only 2 people together. The person on the left, do you write and answer the odd number 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So you do the odd number and you check, okay? And then you do the right number, no, the even number and you check. And Phương and Chiều. Okay. Write true or false next to each other. It's an exercise. So no one can fall asleep except love.
Well, you're hilarious, man.
I make the sleep joke with everyone too.
Hey, I'm confused. So you say true is equal to 1. I thought 1 isn't 1 true thing, right?
That's when we learn truthy.